Tingana on the right, Kuchava on the left. There's the beautiful big Tingana looking as stately as ever, and the beautiful Kuchava on the left-hand side. Now, for those of you who don't know who Kuchava is, that is the daughter of Thandi, the leopard we saw last night, and so it was her last cub that she had. And as far as I know, she has mated a few times, but yet to produce a litter, which is exciting news. So it looks like she's come into an area where Thandi has spent a lot of time around Chitwa, and I wonder if this is not where she's going to end up denning if she does fall pregnant. It would be amazing if we have her on Chitwa, Thandi on Djuma, and then we get to see the lineage carry on, because remember, this is still Karula's lineage, as Thandi is the daughter. And how cool is that to see the two of them positioned on top of the mound? It is as good as it gets. Now, like I say, there are unfortunately lots and lots of cars that want to come in here, so we're not going to get a long sighting of them, but it doesn't get better than that. When you've got two leopards sitting on top of a mound the way these two are, it is really about as good as anyone could really ask for. And you can see the size difference between the two of them. If you look at the size of his shoulders and his chest compared to hers, you can see how much bigger that Tingana is. Now, Tom, you're asking what Kuchava means. Kuchava means basically it's like shy, as far as I'm right. Is that right, Senzo? Yeah. It's like to be shy or to be wary of something. So it probably was because this little leopard, when it was still a cub, was fairly sort of wary of cars and used to move away, and it wasn't very relaxed, and that's why it's gotten the name Kuchava. So that's normally, if you say something is Chava, it's unrelaxed, it's not something that will allow you to view it much, and that's where the name comes from for her. But she is beautiful, and you can see she's become very relaxed now. She doesn't worry about us at all. As she's become independent, we've been able to spend more time with her, and I know a lot of you are saying you've never seen her before. We used to see her a lot more when we were on Cheetah Plains and traversing Cheetah Plains. She spends time in that area. I remember I had a sighting of her very close to Cheetah Plains Open, actually, which was quite cool. So she's moved a lot, and I think with the shifting of Thandi into Djuma, so that's allowed Kuchava to start shifting from in Koro, Cheetah Plains side, more towards Chitwa side, and we can't complain. I mean, if we're going to get to see another female leopard and another sort of development, and particularly a young female, because remember, we don't have many young females. Thandi, Shadow, they're older individuals, and if we can get a sort of 3.5-year-old female that's going to start having her first litters, this might become another legacy that's going to carry on in the years to come of Safari Live. So it's great to have another female. And for those of you who want to check any of the spot patterns or want to look for noticeable markings, Senzo's just doing a little sweep of her body, so you guys can get some screenshots and get some markings that will be able to identify her. But you can see they're both tired. I suppose it's been a long afternoon of walking around and mating, so it's probably why they're so tired. Now, Razor, you say she looks so much like her mom. She does, doesn't she? She's got a little bit of her mom look to her, but there's whoever the father is has also got a bit in there. She seems to have a little bit more of a boxy face than what Thandi has. Thandi seems to have a more rounder face. She's got a little bit more of a boxy face, and in fact, I've actually shown her photo to a number of people, and they often comment that she has a little bit more of a masculine look than what Thandi does, but she is beautiful. She's a very pretty leopard, and I know this is Taylor's absolute favorite leopard. So Taylor, I hope that you are watching, and if you're not watching, well, I'm sure she'll be excited to know that we got to see Kuchava and that there's an update on her, because Taylor loves this leopard and always used to go looking for her on Cheetah Plains. So I'm super glad that we got to catch up with her, and she's looking as good as you could imagine. The last time I saw her, she was a little bit smaller, and she's grown a little bit. She's filled out, and she really is growing into a beautiful leopardess. You can see her nose is starting to darken as well, so the pink is disappearing ever so slightly, and slowly but surely we'll find that that nose will become very dark. Beautiful clean ears of a young leopard as well. So, oh, are you sleepy, my girl? I see your boyfriend is also sleeping at the moment. He's completely out cold as well, as Tingana likes to do. It's nice to actually see Tingana sitting for once. We are generally with him, and he's moving around all over the place. Now, the interesting thing is that she's come off a carcass. So it's interesting that she was eating a carcass yesterday, and then now is with Tingana. I wonder if Tingana didn't has robbed her of it, and that's why that carcass is now finished, and then they've joined together to start mating. Whether she's in a proper estrus cycle is anyone's guess, but I would imagine that the two of them are mating for real, because apparently today they have mated quite a bit. So I'm sure they are mating, and maybe they just finished off the carcass together, and then they've now started this mating, which will last for about 3 days. Now, Karen, you say Kuchava means scared. Well, like I say, I mean, it's scared is probably not. I mean, that is, I suppose, a direct translation, but out here, if we say something is chava, it means that it's unrelaxed. So we refer to an animal as chava. It's unrelaxed. It's not an animal that is easy to view, and that's why she was called Kuchava. So scared, I suppose, is the direct translation, or shy. Well, Tingana is actually shy. That's the name for Tingana. So we've got shy and scared, which neither of them look like they are anything to suggest what their names are. But remember, when Tingana arrived, he was also quite secretive and elusive, and like I say, Kuchava was the same when she was a cub, so that's why they both inherited those kind of secretive names as they went along. So they make a fitting pair, don't they? And you can see they've chosen probably the best spot that we could have asked for. Where we are now is not a great place for us. Our signal is very bad down here, and in fact, before we did the upgrade to the Chitwa mast, we would never have been able to do a segment here, or even been able to see these leopards. So the fact that they've lay where they are is just the best news. If they'd gone 20 meters north of where we are now, there's not a chance I would have been able to get to the sighting, and we wouldn't have been able to see them. So we can be very thankful that they decided to stop on top of a mound for us this afternoon, which is really, really cool. But just look at the size of his neck in comparison to her. She's at least got her head up for us, which is nice. Hopefully he'll pop his head up just now as well, and we'll be in a situation where we can at least get both of them with heads up. That opening shot of the two of them kind of looking around was just fantastic, wasn't it? It really kind of worked very well to see the two of them together. It would be nice also if we got a bit of a mating session. It would be really, really good if we could see some sort of mating going on. It's been a long time since we've had mating live on camera. We had Thandi and Tingana, but I don't think we ever got it on camera. Or maybe Tara did. I think Tara did, but that was well over a month ago, and never get enough of mating leopards, although Megan would disagree. Megan is a big protester of the mating catch. She does not enjoy their mating. She says that it is gross. So Megan, don't worry, if it is, I'll tell you to close your eyes and you cannot watch what goes on. So Megan says thank you very much, which is good. But our leopard luck continues. It seems to be every time we come to Chitwa, we've had a leopard as well, which is really amazing. So, Jake, the father of Kuchava, I'm not 100% sure. I would imagine it's either Shivambalan or it's Tingana. Look, she's going to go up to him and she's going to initiate the mating. Look, Senzo, I'm going to roll back slightly for you. Just going to try and go back a little bit so that Senzo can see a bit better. There we go. Look, so she's trying to initiate it. She's the one rubbing up on him, and this is what the females do. How cool is this, guys? Look, and there he goes. Who's going to get up? So that is exactly what happens when mating happens, is that they will go after one another, and they will fight with one another, and they will claw at one another, and they will bite with one another. And that's because when he mates with her, he actually has a barb on the end of his penis, and so when it pulls out, it actually hurts her, and that's when this growling and hissing carries on, and they then slap and claw at one another. But unfortunately, that means that Tingana is now up moving, and our chances of following them are going to be quite slim. We're going to try our very best. I don't think we are going to be able to keep signal inside here, but I definitely am going to try. But how cool was that?